What is the most underrated game you can think of? One of the games that comes to mind for me is Prey, and I don't mean Prey from 2006, but the later one from 2017. The name Prey has a bit of baggage, and it's one of the reasons the game had a troubled launch. Back in 2006, a game named Prey released by the publisher Bethesda, a first-person shooter that puts you in the shoes of Tommy, as he and countless others are abducted by aliens. The game is all about you fighting these aliens with some interesting abilities. The sequel for Prey was announced almost immediately after the successful release of the first game. It will take Human Head Studios, that were the developers, until 2009 before they actually started developing the game. Bethesda formally announced Prey 2 in 2011 and that they were going to make the game open world. Prey 2 then spent a few years in development hell between 2009 and 2011, facing challenges with the open world premise, the engine they were working in. There were reportedly contract disagreements. This led Bethesda to look at other studios to take over the development. Arcane Austin were tasked with laying the foundation for a reboot of Prey, and in 2014 Bethesda announced the cancellation of Prey 2. And as you can guess, many were very angry with Bethesda for killing the original IP. This also led to the closure of Human Head Studios, the original developers. This finally leads us to Prey from 2017. It still retained a bit of the DNA from the original, its first-person shooter aspect, but set in a space station instead of on an alien ship. But you still fight aliens as you try to uncover what happened on the space station. The gameplay can be challenging, but also messes with you, as the enemies can mimic basically any object, which leads you to become paranoid, as any object could be an enemy. The combat also gives you a lot of freedom in how you approach it, if you want to use stealth, if you want to use the environment to your advantage, lay traps, or just go around enemies. The crafting system is also a nice touch, as almost anything you can pick up can be broken down into its basic components or materials. And then you can use these materials to 3D print new stuff and weapons with the blueprints you have found. The world building is also top tier, although not told so much to your face, but through audio logs and other similar ways. It had everything to be a top tier game, but was unfortunately under-promoted at launch. This is the studio that had previously developed Dishonored 1 and 2. It is a studio with an amazing track record. Bethesda should have put more trust and marketing into this game. It seems like they really had a hard time describing what the game is and hyping it up. The name Prey, as I discussed earlier, wasn't the best name to use either. It comes with a lot of baggage, and the games are not connected by more than the name. This might also be why Bethesda were hesitant with marketing. To me, Dishonored is of a similar caliber. Yes, a bit more straightforward in gameplay, but marketing was excellent for those games. From what I can find, you also had an issue with review copies. Bethesda at this time sent out review copies the day before the game was released. This means that all the reviews for the games at this time comes out after the release of the game, and this will lead to a lot of people being hesitant to buy a game. On top of this, the studio also missed out on fixing